We are, of course, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And we, of course, have been playing with these characters that have been with us now for a few weeks. We have travelled through freezing cold. We have climbed down off mountains, faced beasts of great gargantuan size in their own lairs. We've had dreams given to us. We've had contact back home to discover there was an attempt at the throne. We found books with intense words of power. All experience gained, all knowledge gained, all this that happens, these combined experiences that grow our characters, that make them stronger, that make them wiser, that make them do things that are sensible and keeps them not only surviving to the next day, but the day after that as well. And of course, then you have Karsat and Kylon. Kylon threw Karsat as an improvised weapon against a ceiling of sand that was suspended by goodness knows what the dragon did to get that to work, but it was a thin skein over a large hole. Gravity is always going to win. And so the sand came crashing down upon the group and dex saving throws were rolled. The dex saving throws were somewhat successful. Indeed, wings were sprouted in one case to fly away from them, but unfortunately 2 of the party are under the sand that has fallen upon them. Blindness, darkness, struggle. I don't quite know what happens if you get covered in that volume of sand and don't quite manage to escape to the sides. Kylon is in a tunnel over to the side. Karsat is hiding under a rock and allowed the stand to fall down over him, and he's come out from that. Adri and Ildri are somewhere in the sand. Somewhere covered in tons of sand. Damage was taken, and that was a thing. And now the question is, how do you get out? What are you doing to escape the sand? Right then, let's find out. We're going right away to find out what everybody's doing. Who's going first? Should we roll for initiative? That's probably not such a daft idea if you select your characters, and then I will bring up the turn order, and we can do it in a timed manner. I think that probably makes sense just to see. We are on a clock here. Holding your breath underwater is one thing, but holding it under the crushing weight of sand is another. Yeah. Okay. We will start. Excuse me. Oh, and we need to roll for Sandbag as well. Sandbag was sent off into the... Hang on, let me bring Sandbag into the fray. If Roll20 would... Okay, that's new. There we go. Excellent, there's Sandbag. Let me roll his initiative, or its initiative. Right. There we go. Okay, first up. Kylon.
We are going to turn to Sandbag and say, find them, please. And then we shall cast Maximilian's Earthen Grasp and have a big ass cat claw that is ready to start digging for getting them out.
Okay. So a large
We'll kind of cast that in the center of the area. Yeah, sure. See if I can do. Okay. 30-foot range on it, so 40 bucks. They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it starts digging. Sand is being displaced. Where? You're under it and it's facing you, so the sand's coming down the tunnel towards you.
We're just gonna start digging up, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Start.
How far? What's digging speed?
I'm not sure what the digging speed of it is, but
Medium, 5 feet. Okay, right. So I'll take a couple of rounds to get to the surface, I think. Medium hand reaches for one creature to you within 5 feet of it. Yeah. Okay, so it reaches forward and it pulls a pile of sand back, and then the sand begins to slide down and fill in its space, and it falls around your feet as Sandbag disappears off into it. Okay, any more? Okay. Karsat, you're above the sand because you sheltered under a rock and the sand fell down past you.
Karsat will look at it and go, I'm sure I said to take cover. And then go to whoever will... You remember the position everyone was in, right? So he knows roughly where they're buried.
Give me an intelligence. Just roll straight intelligence to see if you're because you were under a lot of sand yourself. You've got rough ideas, but you know that they were maybe slightly further out towards the middle, but you don't quite know exactly where they are. But you know that if you're not seeing them, and also you're maybe not too sure about Kylon either. You might not know that he has, but you left people towards the middle who are variously split about. So yeah, what's your plan?
Karsat will basically just move to... What is it? Yeah, Karsat will move to about the centre and then just look around for any sign of movement in the sand, and as soon as he sees that, he'll dive up and try and help dig them out.
Okay.
But I have no magic that's useful here.
Roll perception. Okay. Yeah, we can take that into account. Right. So, you climb over. Sandbag's been instructed to disappear into the sand. His movement speed is a 30-foot burrow, but he has innate sense within sand. He's got like tremor sense, so he can easily locate the first person. Not a problem. And he goes to Ildri first of all. And Ildri, what happens is you see the sand drawing off your face all around you, in front of you, and then you see Sandbag's face pop out in front of you, and he says, "Ha! Found you! Staring competition!" And he's just staring right at you.
Ildry's terrified. She does not like being under the sand, and she just sort of like almost scrambles back away from him through the sand, I think.
Yeah. But he sort of follows you as you do that, and he goes, "No, up this way," and he kind of moves up to show you which way you need to go. And
Okay.
he kind of makes it a bit. You get the sense he's making it a bit easier for you, but we'll get to that. You'll get advantage on your next attempt to escape, depending on what you do. Okay. So that's him. He's tried to move the sand around you to make it a bit easier for you to breathe. Adri, you are stuck under the sand. You tried to get out of the way, but you were unable to. It caught you. You were knocked prone, and then the sand just crashed around you.
So the kind of cave thing that we were in before the sand started coming in, it looked like the one we were in before. Yes?
Similar, yep.
And before everything started crashing down, we saw opening in the ceiling, so we've got some idea of probably how high up it is.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm assuming it's less than 500 feet.
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, we're not going to do the hypotenuse this week, but it's definitely less than 500.
It's all right. I'm just interested in the
straight up. It's probably the sand on top of you. For the sake of science, is probably 20 feet. In some places, like around the edges, and then maybe slightly thinner on in the centre. So.
Okay. So under the sand, Adri doesn't know exactly how much sand is currently on top of her. So she is gonna dimension door 100 feet straight up.
Yes. Now, let's have a look at the dimension door. Let's see if there's anything about dimension door that might be constrained casting that while you're under pressure from.
Require verbal.
It's only verbal, right? So you're definitely going to get a mouthful of sand. That is definitely happening. So, yeah, you cast it and you're 100 feet. So you just and you appear right up above with a lovely view actually. There's a surprisingly clear sky around you, but as you whirl around quickly, you see the largest wall of sand you have ever seen in your life, and it is moving, and it is filled with dust, and there's darkness in it, and as you begin to listen, you can swear you can hear noises from it, and it's swirling in front of you. As you turn round and face this and you look to your left, you see it stretching off as far as you can see, which isn't altogether hugely far. There is some sunlight coming through. You get the sense that that's only a temporary fixture. And you look to your right and you look down a similarly vast stretch of this wall, and then you look up and it keeps moving up and up and up and up, and then it gets lost in the clouds and you can't see anymore. It's you've seen this from a distance, but to be this close to it it's completely filled your senses, and for a moment you might even forget just exactly what you are, the sheer enormity and scale of this place. But yeah, so you come back from that and you look around. What are you doing next?
Bonus action flight.
Good call.
Yeah. being a smidge up in the air, and then spitting out the sand.
Yeah, once you've sort of stopped being in awe, or maybe even as you're in awe, you opened your mouth just a little bit at the size of this wall of moving sand in front of you, and you sort of contribute this sand. It falls out your mouth, and then it gets swept into this. It gets kind of drawn into the wall. It's sucked out of your mouth. And you watch it as it moves in and begins to dissipate, swirl around in the maelstrom in front of you. Right. Are you going to move? Are you going to fly any?
Can I see movement of any of the others? Any suggestion of where they might be?
Roll perception.
There we go.
That's a good roll.
19.
Okay. Yeah. You can see Karsat easy. You can see a slight hollow where you disappeared out of, and the sand's sort of sunk down into filling the space that you were in. I'm not sure yet if you can see Ildri, because I don't know what Ildri's doing. But at this point in time, I don't think there's enough disturbance on the sand for you to see anything of where Ildri is. But if you want to hold an action based on that, then that could be fine.
Well, I know roughly the direction they were in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she'll fly over to where... Oh, probably about there. We're not doing...
Yeah, so you fly down closer to where Kart's at.
Flying down closer and moving more in that direction, so easier for the next one.
Okay. We have a giant cat's claw pulling sand away. We have two on surface. We have a sandbag, magical enchanted librarian creature who's taking the part of breathing apparatus of sorts, helmet keeping the sand out of Ildri's mouth and pointing up. We're at top. We're at Ildri. What are you doing? Are you making a Stramash noise? Are you struggling?
Ildri is absolutely terrified. Something about the innate fire that's within her hates the fact that there is so much sand and it makes her so uncomfortable. And she just sort of freaks out a little bit, slams her hand down against the sand. And I'm gonna cast Bones of the Earth. And choose to fail that dex save. So basically, all of a sudden this massive pillar kind of erupts under Ildri's feet and just lifts her, and potentially Sandbag if he wishes or doesn't wish to come, straight up out of the sand 30 feet into the air. And yeah.
Let's give Sandbag the opportunity to save on that, I think. He has rolled a very low number, it's a 5.
So he also gets lifted up. Technically there's supposed to be 6 pillars, but I think she just sort of wants one big-ish, a bunch of them all next to each other or something around her and under her.
Nice. So you erupt this pillar and Adri and Karsat, you just watch as Ildri's just whoop, spat out of this mouth, this isn't fun. There wasn't a monster in there spitting out. What? Are you calm, cool, and collected? Can we get an acrobatics roll from Ildri to see how cool, calm, and collected you are as you get ejected from this sand? Ah, you're pretty good. Yeah.
Surprisingly, considering, and she just sort of like stands there and then just shakes herself to try and like get all of the like little bits of sand that have got caught in the pleating of her top and clothing, and shakes it out of her hair. Probably grumbling about it the whole time, but just sort of looking down fearfully at the layer of it that she's just come from.
Okay.
Eldry, there you are.
Excellent. Karsat spies Ildri. Pretty cool. Not bad at all. It would have been funnier if you, you know, you rolled a good number, so we can't have it. It's fine. It's fine. Well done. So that happens. Looking cool, collected. You see the rest of the party, except for one member. Kylon, your cat's claw continues to scrape and move, and you see light ahead in its second round of hauling sand. So you can now break through to the surface.
Yeah, we'll just go full sprint to that hole, I suppose.
Yep. Yeah, difficult enough. You have to go down and kind of crawl through that as the cat's just opened up that bit, and you just bust through the sand. Is it? Yeah, it's all right. It works. And you're up. You get up, collect your thoughts, and you look over and you see the rest of the group standing over on the other side. I should also say that this is the first time that Ildri or actually Ildri and Kylan, roll me a perception check just to see how perceptive you are when you walk right out of there. Yeah. Ildri, both of you, okay. So Ildri, when you burst out of the sand and you look up, you see this huge wall of sand as you spin round, land on your feet and walk on. Just this vast one. You've been looking at this from a distance, but now you're very, very close to it. Kylan, you sort of put your head up through the sand and shimmy up one. As you stand up, your eyes level reaches above the sandbanks in front of you, and you just look up and see this vast, swirling vortexes upon vortex, blackness, dark shadows within lighter beads of light, and sun shining through one spot, a break, and then it fills up again as it moves, and then another spot opens and the sun shines down. You're still pretty low down. You've got sandbanks all around you, but yeah, this is it. And also Kyle, you hear something as well. It's not just this what you see, it's what you hear. And it sounds mournful and sad and loud, but from a distance. It's not a song. It's a song of plaintive distortion through the winds. It's a communication, perhaps, but I don't think you pick it up. You don't speak Abyssal, do you?
I think so. Nope.
And it passes, the sound disappears. So that you hear and that you see, and all of you now facing this vast tumult that's ahead of you. And this is what you know you have to go through. This is what you know you have to pass in order to find out. This is your mission. This is your quest. This is the reason that you're here. To go through this, to find out what's on the other side, to then get back home again and report. You've been told by the dwarves of the mountain above you, behind you now, looking a little bit smaller, that if you manage to take down any or all of this wall, then they will see you. You don't know what they meant, but it's nice to be seen, right? You are alone in the sand. There's nothing else around you apart from a solitary rock and sandbag, of course. Who lands. You see him dissipate, actually. I don't think he was quite expecting it. And you see him sort of form up again in the sand. And he looks up at you, Ildri, and says, "What did you do that for?"
I didn't really feel like staying under the sand. I feel like I'm much better above it. She kind of glances down.
You'd have been fine. I was looking after you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But even so... And she kind of like just shakes one of her feet to try and get the sand out of the soles of her shoes.
And you see a hand form above the sand of sandbags choosing, and he kind of shakes it, and then the sand just goes, whoosh, just flows away. Huh. Glad you're good. Right then. Dragon Slayers. Where are we going now?
Probably into that, and Ildri just points at the clouds and sandy, swirling darkness above us.
Sandbag's eyes disappear out one side of his head and come out the other side of his head, and he looks and says, "I might need the bag for that one."
Yeah. I'm not too thrilled about it either, but at least we're here.
Maybe in there you could fly.
No thanks.
I think it would be great.
Where's the bag?
Flying's wonderful.
No, it's not. Where's the bag?
Fine. Alan holds out the bag.
Sandbag kind of just shovels himself, and I'll take this as well, and a little hand pulls up and then grabs a bit more and pulls the sand in.
Alan will put the bag back on.
Okay. Sandbag secured. What are you doing now?
Do we know what vague direction we're supposed to be going in? Or is it just in?
That is the nature of it. You are led to believe that there is an end to it, but there are no reports as to how big or thick or long or how long it might take. You don't know much, and that's why you are all here to find it, report back to that lovely place with all the teapots.
Well, suppose through we go.
Interesting start to the journey so far, pal. I say it can't get worse, but that just makes it seem like we're going to be hit by multiple dragons.
Well, we could take them.
We could throw you in front and leave you.
We could take it.
Exactly. And while you take it, the rest of us can actually live. Anyway, shall we go?
You climb out of the sand on top of one of the dunes and look towards the tumult, the vortexes spinning, and your eyes are drawn in a brief respite as sun, dusty but nonetheless bright, shines through and illuminates a large building among ruins, part of it into the sands, but enough of it being available and visible for you to see. And that building, with ruins in front of it and rocks, is bright. It looks solid. It looks intact. When there's so much destruction around it, you're not sure quite how that has managed to happen, but happen it has. Yeah. There we go, for those at home. A large building that disappears off into the Maelstrom. A vast dome with buildings in front of it.
Should we head to that building first? At least in that vague direction?
Seems like a good idea. How far away does it look?
Not far. It's reasonably close. You reckon you could probably walk there in under an hour. So you tell me where you want to stop. You know, how far away you want to stop, etc.
I'd just like to cast Pass Without Trace on the party if we're heading towards it.
Yeah. So as you get towards it, you cast that spell on the sand, the shadows, the light bends around you, and you merge in as best you can to the snow. You are pretty exposed as you're walking across the sand dunes. There isn't really that much that you could hide. If you are wanting to be sneaky and stealthy, then a stealth roll from everybody would be useful. If you're just moving at normal speed, then that's fine. You can saunter across the sand quite happily.
Right, is there anything giving us, other than like the weirdness with the sand and all of that, is there anything giving us any feeling that actually this is us needing to be stealthy?
Roll perception if you want to look around to see if there is anything there that you're wanting to look at.
16.
And you spot large doors on the side of the building. Not the circular dome part, but the part before it that leads into it. And large doors are about the size that you might expect to see on a small keep, or some, you know, if there was horseback riders wanting to go in, then that would be allowing for that kind of size. So you maybe think that perhaps mounted beasts, mounted animals perhaps might have passed through, but you don't see any tracks, you don't see or hear anything. But you do pick up this faint grumble from your right, where the maelstrom is, where the wall is. Just ever so slight and faint. It doesn't sound at all happy. And storms are generally quite violent, but this one has another edge to it, and it's a bit sinister.
Ooh. Find a stealth
To the building we go.
Cool.
Are you moving stealthily?
I think Adri will, just more out of habit. So I've got past that trace. That's including
I'm
past
just
that
gonna.
trace. That's 21.
And we'll just kind of follow their lead and we'll go stealthy. So
I think
29.
moving stealthily to 17.
Ew. Yeah, that about trash with how I usually roll anything vaguely important.
You get closer to the building, and you don't see anything, you don't hear anything other than the ongoing noise of sand crashing against other parts of rock nearby. It's almost like a waterfall, but it doesn't sound like you want to get caught up for too long in that. It sounds abrasive, it sounds angry. The destruction that's been wrought, you can't tell initially that you're walking through. Has it been the storm that's done this? Has it been Beast? Has it just been the age? It doesn't look entirely dissimilar to some of Narvet that you passed through, but the architecture seems different. It's just not quite as familiar. It's a somewhat alien feel to it. And you look down and pick your way through the rocks, and you get close, and you're now overlooking the doorway, as stealthy as you can be. This large doorway that you've seen as an entrance into the place. And from that vantage point, you're able to see that the dome disappears somewhat into the sand, into the wall.
Do you go and explore?
I guess so.
We're meant to be going, so.
Okay. I'm going to move you slightly, just back a bit. You're in amongst the rocks, so you've got some cover. You're looking down over the doorway, which is just down to your right, and the door is, as I said, is large, high, and yeah, you can probably find your way into that door easy enough. Okay. And for some reason, chat is not following, so I need to just bring. Okay. So.
Can we see or hear anything just beyond the sand and the door?
I'll move that door forward so you can actually see. There we go. You're standing behind or crouched stealthily behind the rocks. And you're listening out, so give me a perception roll as you're trying to get a sense of if there's anything. Wow, okay. You speak Abyssal, Ildry.
I do.
It's not so much words as just grumbling, random phrases filtering. Some of it coming from behind you, where the Maelstrom is boiling. But a small amount of that is coming from within the buildings. You're not sure exactly what's being said. You can't exactly pick out what is there, but you can hear discussion, maybe different voices, 3 different voices speaking, but at such a distance that even though you can understand it and you pick it up as Abyssal, you're not close enough to be able to hear those words. But there are people in that building, and they are speaking a language that you have not heard for some time, and generally things that are good do not happen when you do hear it.
Yes. Mildred's brow sort of pinches a little bit, and she kind of like motions to the others to like come closer. Guys, I think there's definitely some not very happy Abyssal speakers in there and behind us. They're grumbling. I think there's at least 3.
Do we go in and just take them out? Kick the door in?
I mean, usually doesn't bode well.
When you say grumbling, is it... oh dear God, when's this weather I'm going to stop? Kind of grumbling, or is it... does it sound more, I don't know, more sinister than weather?
It's really hard to tell, and you sort of see Ildry's ears twitch just the slightest bit as she's like trying to listen more. And they're very, very long, so like, you know, elves. Would she get a sense of that beyond, or is it just?
Yeah, with that roll, you listen for a bit longer while everybody's quiet, and you get the sense that there's some sort of struggle of effort required about something, but you're not sure what. You just get the sense that it's fairly low level, but there's effort being exerted about something. You can't tell exactly what the effort is or why.
So, sort of more like the grumbling that someone makes when they get out of bed, rather than necessarily in the morning, rather than necessarily.
It's that kind of tone, yeah. It's that sort of just that murmuring of discomfort. But Abyssal, I mean, they're destined to struggle and strife, right? This is their sort of standard tone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not exactly a joyous, but to hear it here, yeah, not great.
And Ildry would probably succinctly sort of just say, I think they're just sort of moaning about things rather than necessarily angry. Seems strange that it's
light and knock then? Or
I mean, maybe?
I mean...
Oh no, you go.
I say, are we wanting to... What's our goal with going in? Are we going in planning with the intent of smashing skulls, or are we going in and going, hi, we're travellers, we're a bit lost. Help? And trying to get them...
I'm never averse to smashing some skulls. Quite entertaining.
Is that the purpose with which we're walking into the building? Or would it just be a happy byproduct if it happened?
I mean, I'm always ready to smash some skulls, so we'll see.
So, walking brazenly through the door rather than doing anything stealthy?
What's the worst that can happen?
Eldridge is quiet. So
Find the most dangerous one quickly, throw you at them.
Eldridge just
Alan
glances
just
over at me.
Callan just kind of pats Carshot in the head and says, "Sure, we'll throw you."
That worked so well
last
for us
time.
last time.
Exactly.
How about this? We send Kyle on ahead. He can be as diplomatic as he usually is. And when it inevitably goes horribly wrong, we blow up the building with him inside.
I mean, I don't speak Abyssal, so...
The one flaw in an otherwise perfect...
Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you going to do? What's your plan? What's your action?
We'll try the door then?
I guess we could knock.
Kylan will walk over the door and knock. See what answers.
Position yourself between the other two and the door. Thing.
You are waiting for a short while. And you hear behind the door we don't want any trade. No trade.
Neither do I. need directions.
You not getting passage.
Passage to where?
You not bringing what it eats.
I'm very confused now. Can you open the door, please?
It's a good job you guys have got high passive perception, because from behind you, you see a group of very strangely dressed humanoids approaching, tall, 3 in total. And I would like you to roll initiative, please, because they would very much like to kill you. Remember to select your token.
That's just rude.
I'll add you. There you go. Nice. Okay.
I don't seem to be capable of rolling anything above a single digit on the dice. Everything's been crap.
If it makes you feel any better, me too. So.
Swap curses. Look at the bright side. Your thing isn't red from that one and still almost 20. I know that's advantage, but it's still really annoying to look at.
And it beats you again.
I know
That's
you're
a
actually
great day.
taking an initiative for once. It's weird.
This one actually
This is
counts.
great. I know. It wasn't just to dig my way out of a sandpit.
Oh, I caused that. I'm just sitting on top going.
Right. Kylon, the attempt at being stealthy, these things have failed dramatically, and you hear them coming over from the left-hand side behind you as you're in the doorway chatting to this person. The door looks pretty robust. You think there's at least one person behind it that was talking to you, but you also see 3 other things that are there. What are you going to do?
Kylon shall turn to the door and I'm going to say, "We shall continue momentarily." Then we shall bonus action to enter Blade Song. Then how far are they from me? Yeah, I mean, I suppose we'll go my full movement towards them, which is 55 feet, so to there, and we shall. We're still got an action left. So. Use.
What's next?
We'll bring up haste. Just why not?
Okay.
and that's Kylan.
Okay, you watch as he's with weapons drawn are observing this. They're entirely bald and their heads have strange they have strange shapes to them. They're not smooth-headed in that regard. They've got strange ridges across their top of their head. Their skin is somewhat purple, and they're wearing very light armor, but you see that they have the garb of potentially magic users. And as they walk, the sand seems to whip up around their feet in a way that isn't natural. Okay. Karsat.
So Karsat will move in front of the others. I will use a bonus action to spend a key point for patient defense. And then I will look back at Adri and shout, "Fire in the hole!" And I will hold my action to cast Fireball when Adri does.
Okay. Ildri.
I'm going to glance around Karsat, and I would like to cast Entangle, centered over the top.
Okay. "20-foot square."
So, yeah, pretty much like covering all in front. Probably like catching the back one and then kind of in front of them again, so it becomes like a messy thing. And they all need to make a strength saving throw thingy with a spell save of 18. And then I'm going to move over here. And I think that's pretty much all Actually, I'm going to move up to here. And I think that's pretty much all I want to do this time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, these kind of dead and dusty plants kind of rise out and try to wrap around their ankles. I don't know if they've succeeded or failed on their saving throws, but that's a thing that happens.
All right. Entangled in the vines that now magically sprout from beneath their feet and around their bodies. The sand is competing with them, still swirling around. The one at the front opens his mouth, and you hear an awful sound. It's the sound of the Maelstrom that's next to you, but amplified 100 times. And this voice passes out of his mouth, streams towards you, the sound of it deafening in your ears, so loud and terrible, the words being spoken, the sentiment behind it, filled with so much hate. I'd like everybody who isn't immune to being frightened to give me a charisma saving throw, please.
Shit.
You all succeed. Maybe it's just being close to this thing that's made you immune to it, but hearing that voice, as painful as it is in your ears, the sense of loss of being wrenched from your own world doesn't affect you, doesn't have any effect. Anybody speaking Abyssal knows about hunger, knows about the ongoing torment and pain associated with the realm, but to hear it here is still most concerning, but you're none frightened. And you see, let's see now, they're going to make each a save, haven't they, against being entangled. 1, 2, 3. A 12, a 13, and a 19.
Only one of those passes, but it's also difficult terrain. So.
Okay. And in front of you, a large darkness appears centered upon Kylon. The shape and space, you've seen this before. This is magical darkness, and it leaves Kylon the center of this shape, this 15-foot radius. So you can see above it, but you cannot see round it. And for intents, you are blinded in the middle of this darkness, Kylon. The third one will step forward and around you, Karsat, and yeah, that fits. Rock and sand combine into these terrible tentacles in an area around you. The tentacles seem to writhe, but they're made of sand and stone, and they spin around you, and it's a difficult area of terrain. And if you if you start your turn in this space, you will be hurt and damaged by these. They're vicious, these sandy tentacles rocking, just slamming around, looking for something to latch onto. Okay, that's the end of their shots. The one that can move is going to step out.
Would it get that far if it's difficult terrain
Oh,
and
no.
the entangle still?
No, you're right. You would not get that far. You would only get to the edge of the entangle. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And yeah, he's not doing that. Right. So, Adri.
So the magical darkness, is that just surrounding Kylon, or is that The baddies caught unit as well.
Yeah, it is just surrounding. It is just surrounding Kylon.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, in that case, having heard the shout of fire in the hole, that's easily within 150 feet, and excellent. Cool. Alrighty. Adri is grinning. Probably just about got rid of all the sand out of her mouth now after having sort of been spitting it out for the last hour. Yeah, the child to fire in the hole, put a grin on her face, seeing the vines coming up, and she is gonna cast a fireball at 5th level, centered about there-ish.
Okay. Wow. Conflagration. The bright streak flashes forward, passes through the darkness, not lighting it up, it just vanishes into it. Do you need to be able to see the point? No, it's the point you choose. That's all. That's fine. You've chosen the point. You don't need to see it. So it streaks through and out the other side, and above the darkness you see the light appearing. It's just nothing, black, and then it's flame. Okay, so you're casting it at 3rd level, and
I'm casting it at 5th.
5th level. Got you.
So the one cast is Karsat's held one.
Yep. And I need to do a dex save for the 3 of them. So 1.
I believe 2 are restrained.
So they automatically fail. So the only one that gets and rolls a 12, so they all fail.
Wonderful. So that'll be 38 points of fire damage for Adri.
32 for Karsat. 70 fire damage. I love our strategies and plans.
How are they looking?
I'm not sure Croy loves it so much.
No, Croy doesn't love it so much at all. Definitely not. So I said they fail automatically. They do in fact have disadvantage, but they all failed anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so what's the total damage then between you all in that set piece?
70 fire, I believe.
70.
Where did the extra 5 come from?
Sorry, 38 plus 32 is 70, isn't it? You did 38 damage, you know?
Yeah. So I thought you said 5.
I believe he's trying to say fire, but it's a Scottish accent.
That would do it. The mask probably doesn't help with it coming through either. And for some reason I've slipped into a thicker Scottish accent because I'm a dick.
So the effect of this you cannot see, the effect of this you can hear. And screams of abyssal nature, of the worst pain, the terrible pain, the how wrong it is that they came here to avoid this from happening, that this is not at all appropriate to be happening here, and would the person who did that kindly go back to the hellspawn that created them. Words of those kind of effect. They are very, 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 very burnt, but you cannot see that, but you can definitely hear that. Adri, any more from you?
Nope, I think that's it for her.
Top of the round. Kylon?
I assume you can hear these screams of
Oh, yes, you can hear the screams.
wonderful. So he's just going to kind of run straight towards them. And
Roll me
5.
roll me perception at disadvantage. It's a low DC, but there's a small chance you might run into a wall.
Perception disadvantage. This can only go well.
That's okay. That's what you needed. you run forward. You do not clip into the wall, but you feel the wall brush against the side to let you know that you are standing against something solid. That could be useful information. And then you run straight into them. That's your intention, right?
Yes.
And you
Am I
connect.
out of the darkness or?
The darkness has followed you. You are still in it, and now so are they.
That's problematic. Okay. Well, I suppose we just have to swing at them until whichever one it is that did it dies.
I was supposed to get a concentration check from the massive amounts of fire.
Yes, indeed. This is a fair point. I will roll Constitution against a massive amount of fire. And it's a huge number. Can they even pass it? Oh, well, it's a
DC 16
It's two
and
separate ones. So it would be a DC
16 and a DC
19.
99.
yeah, they rolled 23
Right.
with a natural 20, so they're okay.
And then there's our seconds.
So that's the first
One save.
save done.
And then they rolled 21.
That's disappointing.
I don't suppose the stabby ground is also concentration.
The stabby ground it is concentration. Okay, so same again.
16, 19.
Okay, fails.
Yay!
So stabby ground of stone and sand disappears. You got one away. Okay. Are you flailing in the dark at something that is right next to you? I mean, the fact that officially
Yep.
this is supposed to be the disadvantage, but it negates, doesn't it? Because they can't see you and you can't see them, so it's just a normal roll.
They're also restrained, so it would be a normal roll, yeah. So we'll hit with the Warhammer. The 13 hit.
You
Really terrible.
feel the body in front of you slump at your feet with a groan, and it's very warm on your toes as it lands there. It's not blood, it's just a charcoal, probably, you reckon. Anyway, this is what happens when you walk on fire. That's what it feels like. But you know that there's a good chance there's something else out there because you can hear it still breathing.
Cool. We'll go for.
Oh, and at that point, the darkness disappears, and you can see the one that's next to you.
That's lovely.
Who is restrained?
Oh yeah, because that'll be funny. We'll use sword burst on this one, so that's a dex. That's not supposed to have rage on it.
Okay, well, it's a disadvantage. So it's still a big number, but it's only a 12, so it's not a huge number.
Fails. So it takes 5 force damage.
And it too falls to the ground as your sword burst dissipates its existence, fire upon fire, and both of these are dead.
Am I able to see the third one from where I am?
You can. It's a low wall, but you can see it round the corner.
So we started there, so that's 5, 10, 15. Yeah, I've got enough movement. We shall run over to him, and we shall hit him with a battle axe.
Have you got enough with difficult terrain as well?
I've got 110 foot of movement speed.
Go for it.
With haste up.
I forgot about
Hit him with
haste.
battle axe.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, that does it. You can see the burn marks right across his skin. He's on still fire licking off him, and you just put him out of misery, out of the existence that they had. So yeah, you've dispatched them all between you.
Wonderful. We shall then, I suppose, hot tail it back to the door.
Yeah, you're now out of combat.
Okay, so I'm back. Does my friend on the other side of the door respond?
No, the friend at the other side of the door does not respond. You get the sense that your friend at the other side of the door has buggered off and gone somewhere else entirely.
That's rather rude. He appears to have left.
Is the door locked?
Don't know. Callan will try the door, see if it's locked.
Door is most certainly locked. I mean, you get the sense it might even be barred.
It is locked.
Shall we find another way in?
Are there any windows?
Good question.
There is a relatively flat roof above you at this section. It's only about 30 foot up, but you don't see any windows. But there's a flat roof.
What's the door made of?
Wood.
Right. Can I take out my tinderbox, like a very small flame, and then use control flame, which means I can move it 5 feet onto any surface as long as there's wood or some other sort of fuel.
Oh, I can help with that too.
Excellent, twice as fast. And while that's going on, and Ildri is burning, can I just go to Kyle and go, you want to throw me? The roof's not that tall. Just see if he can yeet me up there while we're burning out.
Sure.
Okay. An athletics roll. You're not attacking anything, so just strength is versus height.
It's very-
Just check something here. Which one is it I need to do?
So athletics will give Karsat the opportunity to either slam into the wall, which is what we're all hoping for, or go flying beautifully up and above and over.
Are you throwing me by the scruff of the neck, or are you giving me a leg up? Because I really didn't specify, and that might matter in a minute.
I mean, kind of the easiest bit to reach you, which is your back, so it's just going to be like a straight lob.
I was really hoping I could use you as a springboard and use my acrobatic.
I mean, you can try and do a flip.
I always try and do a flip.
Before Kylan throws him, he is going to go into a rage, and that means the athletics check is at advantage.
There you go. Now let's get the graceful soaring through the air with a double tuck, a spin, a pike, and then landing so well. Wow. Yes, look at this well-oiled machine. Anybody would think you were high-level adventurers. My goodness, that's fantastic. Look at that. So you lob this kobold up into the air. He gracefully, as if taking on the flight of a dragon. You get whatever you want, Karsat. You call it. How does it look?
Triple flip, half twist with a tuck in it, and land hands up like that.
Right on the edge, in a stick. Like your heels are still over the edge, but your toes are just on the edge there, and everybody's looking at it, and just round of applause, I think, for that. That was beautiful. Well done, team. Yeah. So you look around on the flat roof and you see an opening with stairs.
There's stairs here. Here. I'll see if I can smoke about from this side. Cars are start toddling down the stairs.
And you toddle downstairs. You don't hear anything unless you're particularly listening out for anything. And if you are particularly listening out for anything, please give me a perception roll.
Probably won't hear anything, but at least try.
Yeah, no, you don't hear anything. You toddle down, so you find the stairs take you into this room here, and you go through the gap in the stone, and then you're at the back of the door. You easily remove the bar and open the door for everyone there. So let's just do that.
Sorry, Eldry. You can keep burning the door if you want.
Alright. She kind of just like flicks her hand and the flames like dissipate from where they were.
It was a nice idea, guys.
Always important to have multiple plans, which is why we definitely came here with multiple plans.
Well, having no plans at all means we can be flexible. You can't be totally tied to following one plan exactly if you have no plans to start with.
That's not true. We have fire in the hole. It's very effective.
Less of a plan, more of a bit of fun. Effective fun.
Exactly. Let's go see if we can find my friend.
You struck up such a good conversation, you can go in first. Good.
Certainly. And Kylon shall go in search of his new friend.
Okay. And search you do. terrible state of this place. No furniture, just sand, just dust, walls stone crumbling. Terrible. You give me a perception roll as you're heading forward.
Definitely Kylan's strong suit that.
Yeah, you just think that there's a corridor and that's fine. You reach. There's no doors internally. The whole place is just ramshackled. It's amazing it can actually hold up at all with the winds that you're hearing. And you don't hear them as much. That's one thing you do notice. It's a little bit quieter in this room. So yeah, keep moving forward, and you'll see that there is only really one path at this point for you. There is some light coming in through a window down the hallway to your left. Not much. It's just a bit. It's a bit peely-wally, the light. It's not grand. But as you move forward, you see over to your left a chink of light coming down through. There. That's it. So the light's coming down from that in that corridor. Yeah, and as you get there, you begin to hear more noise anyway, irrespective of what you're all trying to do. When you get to the point that you are at Kylon, you actually hear noise coming from over to the far left of your position, and it sounds different. It sounds bigger. It sounds more volume. It's similar to the kind of noise that you heard from the people you were fighting when they were fighting you. The same kind of, well, you can't speak it, but you get the sense that's what it is. But there's something else there as well. There's another noise, a bigger noise.
A lot of noise coming from that way.
Yeah.
Might be your friend. Are you not checking?
Would it be worth casting Pass Without Trace on us again? Since we are actually trying to be sneaky, probably.
I mean, I'm don't necessarily think that you've used up a whole hour, so if you are trying to be sneaky at this point, then just give that.
It's concentration though, and I used that for integral, so I would have dropped it.
Oh, okay. It's not a time thing. Right, excellent. In that case, yes, if you want to cast it again, then now would be the time to do so. Looking up that corridor and out into the window, you see a dome shape on the other side of it. You see the beginning of a dome shape. This looks like part of what you have seen from afar. This looks like the same kind of material, through that gap. You're able to see onto another building, onto the back of another building, and it's curved, circular, the back of it.
Alan kind of whispers back that I can see the dome just up ahead. What's the entry plan?
I mean, Does it seem like if we go in there, we're going to go in a fight, and if we stay where we are for any length of for more than 10 minutes, the fight will just come to us anyway?
If they
Do I
know,
see anything in the dome, or is it just dome?
Just wall and circle and dome. Can't see anything other than that.
I can't see anything in there. I think we'd be alright for 5-10 minutes.
If we're trying to be quiet, we'd be better off with telepathy up.
How long do you need?
10 minutes? She says double her notes.
we can keep hitting a watch. Will you set that up? Can't we, Kylo?
We can stay hidden, and even if we can't, we can hold off whatever comes.
I've cast Path Without Trace, so hopefully it's at least we're a little bit less detectable.
So yeah, Carson has to go stealthy then. We've got the shadowy magic. Trying to be quiet.
Okay.
I'll and Charles as well, and kind of keep an eye out on the dome.
God damn, man.
Blending in with the shadows. Nice.
That's 25.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine. The DC is 12 anyway, so you'd have to roll exceptionally low to break that. Okay, so you are you're quiet for the 10 minutes, and you managed to get that spell that you were looking for up and running. Ildri, you got concentration up. So with the plus 10, are you moving forward then with the spell, Adri, that you were looking for?
Yep, so if these guys are acting as protective guard, she will go ahead and do the ritual casting of telepathic bond. Which, as long as these guys stay within 30 feet of me, which they would know because we have done this a lot. We then have a telepathic communication between the four of us up for an hour.
Yeah.
So long as we stay on the same plane of existence.
Interesting.
And would it be a good idea that while Adri is taking 10 minutes to cast telepathic bond, we take 10 minutes to refill our glasses?
We can do that, absolutely. What is the strange place that they're in? What's the strange noises? What's the strange speech that's happening? Can anybody else speak Abyssal?
I think I've got Primordial and Celestial. Well, it's far more polite than mine.
I mean, I can't speak Abyssal, but if you want to give me another 10 minutes, I'll ritual cast Comprehend Language.
It's up to you. It is up to you. You are hearing voices ahead in the corridor, and one of them seems just slightly more perturbed than the other. The other one... Roll me perception. You're hearing this right on the edge of your hearing. I want to see if you can make sense of...
Oops, no. That's... Ignore plus 10.
Yeah, okay. Ildri, Aldo, and Adri, it comes to your attention that you are not hearing this rather than sensing it in your head, but it is very faint at the edge of your mind, and it isn't actually your ears directly that are receiving the sound waves. It's something altogether different, not unlike the telepathic bond that you have between you, which is strange, suggesting perhaps that somebody somewhere nearby has uncontrolled telepathic thoughts that are just blurting out, and you're picking them up like radio receivers. That is a nice cup, isn't it?
Very nice cup. Ildri, I think, is probably going to be running like almost a telepathic translation of anything abyssal that she hears to the others.
I will tell you that you are hearing snippets and snatches of what sounds like a petulant child moaning about being stuck indoors on a rainy day and wanting to get outside and play with their friends. It's a bit wearisome, in fact.
That's a very specific description that makes me think Croy had inspiration for this.
Oh no! What could possibly prepare him for that?
Well, shall we?
Sure. Same formation. Callan goes in first. I'll make sure nothing stabs us in the back.
Let's go. I suppose we'll stealthily keep making our way forwards.
Okay, you come round the corner as you make your way forward, and when you get to the point of being a little bit more forward, you can see round the corner that the noise is coming from your left. You are looking forward as you walk sneakily through. You look past the window and you see up into that, and as you come round the next set of stones, rock outcroppings from the wall, you see a large set of doors.
Ildri just kind of thinks, can we burn this one down?
This one, however, the bar is on the outside.
Okay, maybe we don't want to burn this one down.
Are there any cracks in the door that we could see through, or?
Yes. You make your way slightly down to the side and look through one of where the vast hinges have slightly been bashed, creating cracks in the stone. It doesn't look safe. It might fall off. The other hinges seem to be fine. What you see when you look through there does not make sense. 4 humanoid characters similar to those that you've seen before. Okay, but what they're doing is standing around something that you cannot see. And they're looking down towards the ground. As you draw closer, the noise in your head intensifies. For those of you not speaking Abyssal, it sounds a bit like this. Just approximately. For those of you who do speak Abyssal, the words form clearly in your head. Broadly translating to free I serve my duty. I must be out. I am enough. I am sufficient. I am whole. I can be. I will. And in this kind of constant stream of like as best you're able to tell, somebody wishing that they weren't inside that room and they were somewhere else, which might explain why there's such damage around the door.
I will translate that. And also be like, I wonder what it is. Anyone got any ideas?
How many
we should free it.
helpful things to speak of this? Like, as a primary one.
I mean, it's being held here against its will.
I'm not saying we shouldn't attempt to help it. I'm saying get ready to dodge.
I wonder
So we're
why
going-
it's being held, though.
And what its purpose is.
I mean, there is a thing, there is a sentient being being held against its will by other sentient beings. One of them thinks they're the good guy. Or possibly both of them think they're the good guy. But one of them may actually be, and it might not be the thing that's being held.
But the things that are doing the holding also speak Abyssal.
And they also tried to kill us.
To be fair, speaking of Abyssal, not necessarily evil. Karsa, I'll look over to our Abyssal speaker.
Audrey just kind of shrugs.
I mean, not everyone who speaks Abyssal wants to burn the world down.
Exactly, those people speak Elvish.
Just most of us.
Only anyone who's been in the world. Or has it been that kind of week? I'm not saying that the thing that's being held is the bad guy. Just throwing a little bit of caution there that if we go in, splice down the other things again, maybe the thing that wants to get out actually makes everything worse. Maybe it makes everything better, maybe nothing changes. I don't know.
I mean, if it's the bad thing, we can just kill it, surely.
Probably.
We could just shove them in the hole and let them duke it out.
That sounds
No.
like a very entertaining idea.
It strikes me as a very simple way to find everything out. You could just go in.
Yeah, why not?
Nothing so
Besides-
well for us last time.
The big one's in front. He makes an excellent shield. Trust me, I've used him before.
Yes, multiple times.
Okay. Move forward. You walk towards the door, you lift up the bar that's on the outside of the door. You slide it across. You open the door. You look in to the room and you see a sight. There are 4 people of some where they've come from, you don't know, but they are standing and they are looking at the door, watching you. And they're standing looking down into a pit. The room is lit by torches. High up in the ceiling there's a dome, and levels of atrium looking down over you. And the thing of their focus, their attention is down in a shallow pit, tentacles moving, waving, a vast body. It's picking about in the sand at some sludge, covering some bones. And in your head, you hear, which broadly translates to, please come down here and enter. Join me. You are my friends. I will eat you.
Eldridge as broadcasters. Let's just kill everybody in this room. I'm pretty sure
Yeah, behind that plan.
to eat us.
Okay, you go right, I'll go left, we'll meet in the middle. Anything left over we can share.
The
Deal.
beings, the purple-skinned ones, look up and say in very broken common, "Do not come further. You will disrupt its cycle. It must grow, but you are too much for it to eat. You must come back and be eaten later."
They're not very good negotiators, are they?
No, they kind of start with the wrong bit. Much too honest, really.
That's always a bad thing. What happens if it gets bigger? I'll shout in common.
It is only part of why we are here and why you come to us under its protection. Could you all make a wisdom saving throw, please, as the mind blast that it exerts upon you
Yeah.
changes
Well,
from being suggestive to being far more. Now, if any of you are immune to being charmed, which I know some of you are,
that'd be me.
then you can you can escape this particular piece of.
I have advantage on being charmed, so I've rolled again.
There you go. Yeah, that does it. That definitely does it.
Sorry, I
Oh,
think
the two front line. This can't go badly.
So, as far as you're concerned, the thing in the pit is your friend, and you want to go and you'd like to help it, and you'd like to be near it, close to it. It's friendly. But otherwise, officially, you can't attack it. And the Charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially. So yeah, you're not scared by it. You're not worried by it. You're not wanting to attack it. You're not wanting to kill it. The other guys around the corner, different matter, of course. They're standing around the edge. But the thing in the middle, definitely isn't going to hurt you. You don't want to hurt it. It's fine. It's all right. It's not going to do you any harm. Yeah. Ildri, Adri, this thing is broadcasting bad vibes. This thing is trying to manipulate you. It's trying to tell you things that are blatantly not true. And you don't trust it one little bit. The person round the side goes to move forward, and you see this constant dust around his feet just moving and swirling. And he walks forward and says, No, you must go. Leave. If it grows too big too soon, it will not be of use. And this is like a ramp that comes up. And he's standing up looking at you.
Ildri is going to turn towards him and say in Abyssal, "What the hell are you guys doing here?"
And as soon as you say that in Abyssal, so you just hear this hellish noise coming out of Ildri. It says, "Oh, can you, Red, you look at this thing and you sort of see the surprise in its voice. I am sorry," he says in Abyssal. As best, well, apology isn't really a thing they do. It's more just a recognition of like-mindedness as opposed to an apology. But you would translate it as an apology. And so you are looking at this, and he says, "You wish to pass? You travel home?"
Not exactly. We have other purpose. We just happened to be passing through this area and came across the dome. And she kind of like just indicates up.
And this is Are you of the Order? Do you serve Neril?
I serve my own purposes.
This an enemy of Neril?
Not necessarily.
We can only allow those to pass who are devout in all their beliefs. If you are found to be against Neril, then you cannot pass, and we will stop you. Your allegiance will serve you as you walk forth. Do you give it?
I do not.
And at that point, I would like you to roll initiative. Select your token first.
Whoosh.
I'll do it.
Oh, snap, look at that.
Okay. Now, being charmed, at least for this round, Karsat, the beast in the middle is definitely not something you want to hurt, but the idiot that's standing in front of you.
Okay, so sorry, Claire, I've got. Go away, Theo. I've got visibility things at the moment just with a pillar. Is this the one that was talking?
Yeah, I mean you can move through and look around, but if you you haven't got line of sight then on that person. But if you move through your party to have line of sight, then you will.
No, I can like see half.
All right, okay.
Yes.
He's got some
so
cover.
So I'll just go around and jump in here, so I'm facing it.
All right, okay, yeah.
So I'm going in. I might as well have a bit of fun with it, and I will make an unarmed strike again. Dear God, I hope that hits. I've got problems.
29 certainly hits.
Okay, so let's make this lightning damage to keep the theme. And could you make a Constitution saving throw, please, as I try to stunning strike?
I will do that, and I roll a low number, which is a 5. Shame it wasn't a dice. 5.
So you are stunned.
Oh, thank you. That's delightful, and I will take that in note. I will put a token on top of that. I will just use, I don't know. None of these really say stunned. I'll use that one there to let me know that it's got something bad on it. Right.
Lovely. So my next attack should have advantage against you.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely a hit.
So more lightning damage.
Okay.
Then... Yeah, it's not that many. I'll use my bonus action to hit again. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
And a bit more lightning damage.
Okay. Absolutely fine. This is damage that it takes, and a total of 25.
Yep, 25 lightning.
Okay, and is stunned. Right. That one cannot make a move. The 3 around here. Will rush forward a tad, and then they look at you and shout, "We cannot let you pass. You will stop, and then you will be eaten tomorrow."
I mean, I can give you cooking tips if you like, as long as you promise to eat me last.
So the sand around you whips up into a fury. We'll draw a nice sandy coloured shape. Well, that's not gonna. Yeah, the sand just pours in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got you all in. Cool. The whole area around you, the ramp down past the pillar, the sand all around, begins to writhe as the rocks and the start move back into these spikes and tentacles beneath your feet. And the space next to that also does the same. Okay. All right, I'm going to move sandbag so chat can see what's going on. sun that doesn't help. Can't see you guys. Right. Should we put a pillar right in the front of everybody? Okay. There is their turn, and one more does something that you don't see. Okay. Right. And Kylon, you're up.
Okay, first up, we'll enter Blade Song.
Okay. Squirming iteration tentacles. When a creature enters the effect or turn starts turn their creature. Oh, could you make a dex saving throw before you do that, please?
Is this an effect I can see? Yeah.
Yes.
I get advantage on it then.
Yeah, you made the save. Okay. Difficult terrain, but otherwise you're not affected this turn by the tentacles that are writhing at the ground, trying to whip you, catch you, rip at your skin, and they are fine. Okay.
Okay. Right. Difficult terrain, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 there. We're going to shift Kyle and kind of out to the side. No. Why not? We'll just kind of wail on this guy a bit. So we'll start with sword burst. Why not? He's stunned. Yeah, I believe he automatically fails a dex saving throw.
That sounds good to me.
At advantage, we'll hit him with the Warhammer. There's a 13 hit.
A 13 does hit.
Oh, wonderful. So that's 6 damage then. And that's the turn for Kyle.
So a total of 14 damage.
Yep.
Okay. The slithering, crawling monster who's in this pit begins to writhe its way over, hauling itself over and moving itself up the ramp towards you. You are able to make a saving throw against its charm effect at the end of your turn.
Wisdom, wasn't it?
Aye.
Sorry.
9? Nope.
I'll take a 9.
Do I get the save as well?
Yeah, you do, yeah, it's alright. Yep. Nope. Okay, so it's gonna...
Well, our friend's coming.
Kyle just smells at him and goes, "Hi, buddy."
Yeah, as it crawls up towards you, hauling itself and writhing, and it really wants to eat you. It doesn't seem to mind that you're its friend. It's probably going to have a go. Yeah. So it lashes with its tentacle towards you. And try and grab you. So a 32 to hit, critical on Kylon.
I don't know what we're at the moment. Yeah, that'll hit.
So, you also need to make a strength save, please.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. You are not grappled, but you take 26, and are you raging?
Not
yet. So you take 26 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it tries and wraps the next tentacle around you to draw it into its mouth. 20 misses, so... okay. Yeah, okay. That's it, as it's crawled its way up towards. Adri, could you please make a dex save or be whipped by the tentacles of sand and stone that are whipping around your legs?
Yeah. 16?
Yeah, that passes. Yeah, so you don't take any damage from that.
Excellent. Right, so just help me get my bearings in the room. I've got a pillar immediately in front of me. These two patches of the stone and sand tentacly stuff on the floor. Yes?
Yes.
And other than the door immediately behind me, I've got walls. This is the room with the dome?
Yeah, the walls up are about 30 foot high, and then the dome reaches up to about a further 90 foot as it reaches up and round the side. So you see the change in the material from the stone. The dome sits on that and goes up. So it's pretty spacious. There's also a door on the other side that you see that's a hell of a lot larger than the one that you've just come through. But there's vast chains over it.
Cool. Alrighty, so in that case, Andrew doesn't fancy walking through any of this stuff. I wants to be a little bit more steady on her feet than flying. And so is going to make use of her slippers of spider climbing. And walk up the walls.
Yes.
I haven't used those yet this game. So she's going to go... let's say 10 feet up in the air, vertically, and is then going to start coming round. Oh, hang on. I'm also going to use bonus action for movement, so she'll have a total of 50 feet walking around the walls. Oh, that gets her to there.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you just you walk up along the side of the door, you get out of that, and then you walk along the side, and you're quite far along. Okay.
Excellent. Right, so now I've done that, I'm going to Eldritch Blast the thing with tentacles. 3 bolts, all going at the tentacly thing because it's trying to eat my buddies. 2, 3. Do any of them hit?
2 of them hit.
2 of them hit. Alrighty. So the first one will have Genie's Wrath applied to it as well. So it's 5 Thunder and 6 Force. And then 15 Force.
26 points of damage. Okay. There we go. And that seems like everything.
Movement action, bonus action. Yep, done.
Ildre,
Dex save?
please. You fail.
Oh no.
As these things whip around you, you take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as they slam into your legs, unable to avoid them. And could you also please make a strength save? You fail that, you are restrained.
Okay. I would like to use my bonus action to Misty Step out of that. Can I use Misty Step against being restrained?
I don't see why not. It seems to be pretty immediate.
Brilliant, so we're doing that. Here. So now my action will basically be to summon Jara.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that, and then I guess I've still got movement because I'm no longer restrained. So probably I'm gonna wander over to here, and basically, yeah, Jara is now active. I'm gonna put them sort of between Tentacly Dude and Stun Dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Jara's appearance, I think, is like a 2d10 or something. Fiery
Okay.
thing if they fail the dex.
Yeah. So dex save from stunned is an immediate fail, so that's it. And the larger of the two is able to pass that.
2d6 damage.
So the big thing being a bit lower to the ground, perhaps slides slightly back into the pit while it sees it exploding and doesn't get through. So 10 points damage to the stunned priest. Okay.
Yeah, and Jara's action is basically going to be to dodge when it's
Okay.
their turn, or their reaction is going to be to dodge.
Okay. Top of round 2, Karsat. Could you make a dex save, please?
Yes.
No, you fail that. Could you also 8 points of bludgeoning damage as these vines whip around you? Could you also please make a strength save?
No, where? Hey.
So yeah, so you're not restrained, but you have taken some damage.
Okay. So Karsat's turn, he's going to shout at Ildre and Adri and go, "Stop hitting our friends! Not doing anything!" Completely ignoring Kyle getting knocked for 6. Then proceed to step out of the thing, while still being in range of thingamajiggy,
Yep.
and I will punch them in the face.
That is a effective and very principled means to communicate with this individual. It's roll damage.
Lightning again, just to keep the lovely theme. And
Okay.
could I also do another stunning strike, please? Cons.
You can, and I will roll a 19, so succeeds, I think.
Sadly. So, punch again.
Also hits.
Yeah. More like.
Okay. The individual in front of you, unable to register any facial expressions whatsoever on account of having no control over their bodily functions, collapses to the ground in a heap at your feet.
Cool. So then Karsa will look up and smile at Big Wing Thingamajiggy. And he will let bonus action step of the wings unfurled. So Karsat will I've just clicked out of the damn game. Yeah, Karsat will just fly over to where the other two thingies are.
Yeah.
And that'll be the end of the turn.
Right.
I'll move them when I get in if I don't accidentally click a damn. Sorry.
I'll move you over. And okay, so you come as you fly towards these things. I would like you to make. I would like you to make, please, a charisma saving throw, please. Once you're back in.
Sure. Is it a fear effect, sorry, or not?
Yeah, I think we said it was. Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
it
I've
is.
got advantage.
Yep.
I've got advantage on fear effects as well.
Roll advantage, yep.
Lovely.
Yeah, you pass. Could I have everybody else please make a charisma saving throw? DC's 14. Oh dear. So, not only is Kylon charmed, well, at least for now, you are also in a state of fear as this thunderous voice roars out across the room from this particular individual that's just mouth open wide, and the noise roars out over it. So Kylon and LG, you're both feared of the one that's marked with an orange square, which is the end of its turn, and the one with the purple square is going to move round. There we go. Okay, I hit roll 20. Can I just say that moving things that are small is just far too complicated. Oh my goodness, never mind. There. No. Okay, I'll do. It is in melee range, and it's going to basically attempt to hurt the blue thing that's in front of it, and it's going to do that by reaching out to you and just tap a finger on top of your head. 23.
Karsat looks up and grins, waves his hand, and casts shield.
Okay. That's fair. I like that spell. That's a spell which just generally frustrates and gives you an extra +5 to your AC. So what's that total with your AC?
25.
Yeah, so you don't get hurt by that. That's fine. Right then, Kylon.
Kylon is going to turn to his new friend and very upset that he has been hit by his new friend. Say, friends don't hit friends. He is then going to cast haste on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And we are then going to can't get closer to that guy, so I guess we're just gonna kind of walk this way. What's that? Yeah, we'll just kind of go around this guy over here. And I can make an attack.
Karsak, could I get you to make a saving throw, please, against the...
Oh, sorry, yeah, the wisdom one.
Yeah.
Damn
Nope.
it!
So
It's
we shall mind slower against the guy I'm afraid of, because I'm afraid of him. So he's obviously a threat. So that's a intelligence saving throw from him.
Okay. And that would be... That's fine. So that's just a basic save, which gives me 19. Which is a success.
He unfortunately passes.
Okay.
And I guess Kylan cast another cantrip with his second action from haste.
I don't want to have to think about it, so yes.
Sure, we'll try again.
Because normally if you had the bonus action, you'd be able to cast a cantrip after using a spell slot, and you've basically got that, so yeah, that's... I don't know, that I'm just going with that, because, yeah, let's go for it. Another save. This one is a 20, nat 20.
That's very upsetting. So he passed again. Yep, that's Kylan.
Okay. The squidgy thing in the middle with tentacles reaches forward and grabs the corpse that you laid down in front of it. Thank you very much. It is going to take that and draw it into its mouth as one of its actions and eat it. It doesn't resist because it's dead, and it disappears into its... it looks all right. It flings a tentacle up towards Jara. How close is Jara to this thing?
Jara can be about 30 foot in the air. And
Okay.
she would be.
She would be. So yeah, it just motions in disgust and then climbs over a little bit further and finds Karsat. And it will then attempt to repeat its lovely masticating jaws you hear behind. And it wants to try and... yeah, it's going to try, first of all, to bite you. Just because it's tuned. 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 24 points of piercing damage, but you are not grappled. And therefore, you are okay. So you do not get put into his stomach, which wouldn't be very pleasant.
Do I get a save if my friend tries to bite my head off?
That is a good question.
It just seems terribly antisocial.
Yeah, it's not a good friend, is he? Certainly something that you don't want to hang around. There's no mention of it.
So it's not charm person.
Oh, you get advantage if you're fighting it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you get advantage on the saves. My bad. So yeah, you can use your advantages. Sorry, that's terrible. Bad GM. I'll just pretend it had legendary actions, and I used that instead. Right, you are up against it. It's trying to bite you, but next time you do a save, you can do it advantage because you're now in combat with it. Adri.
So the kind of things that the tentacly thing and the purple skinned thingies, they're doing things that are like they're actually having to like roll for attacks and stuff like that. It's like they are making attacks.
Yes, they're making attacks.
Right.
Yep.
Right. In that case, I have no idea whether this is going to work or not, but I'm going with Bane.
Ooh.
Oh, however, before she does that, it's a 30-foot thing, she needs to walk along the wall to about there.
Okay. Charisma saves. DC 18.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see if...
Yeah, so it's the one with the orange square, the one with the I'll keep my mother happy, the one with the pink oblong, and the thing with the tentacles.
The big one. Right, the charisma first for the big one is 15. It fails. The purple oblong. It is surely a fail at 12. And the orange rolls an 18, which is what it needs. So
Yep.
you disappear 1, 2, with 1 still in place. And this will take this is the -4, but is there any additional impact on it?
Anytime they make an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, they've got to roll a d4 and subtract the number from the rolled attack.
Yeah. Okay. Right then. They are baned. All right. Excellent. Anything more?
Nope, that's it, because I haven't got any decent bonus actions other than turning into a miniature flock of ravens.
Ildre.
Okay.
That's good.
I would like to summon Draconic Spirit.
Oh.
And, yeah, sorry. And it is basically going to appear above the top of the appear about here.
Okay.
It's going to breathe out a cone of lightning damage. I'm going with a blue Draconic Spirit for that goes across the tentacle-y thing, Karsat, and the purple oblong. On its turn, and I'm also, as a bonus action, going to order Jarrah to attack. And I also, I think, get a roll to determine if I'm still terrified of this thing. So I will roll the Draconic Spirit's breath weapon in a sec. But I believe I get a wisdom saving, or is it a charisma saving throw to see if I'm still scared of the orange guy?
Wisdom at this point, and you don't. Oh, you've passed. Yeah, that's fine. You're no longer. So,
Yeah.
how much and what does the Draconic Spirit need from? It's an attack. Are you able to roll?
It's a dexterity saving throw against 18.
Against 18. So 1, and also that one. So I have rolled for the big tentacly dude, I've rolled a 19. And for the priest wearing the purple robes, he got a 9. No, that was 12, so fails.
Okay, and isn't the tentacly guy baned, which means that he has to roll a d4 and then take whatever the result is off the thing for his saving throws or something?
Yep.
So that goes down to a 17 and fails.
Brilliant. Cool, so they both take 5 points of lightning damage as this dragon just breathes over them. Oh, also I get to roll for Jarrah, who's attacking the tentacly dude.
Yeah.
And that's a 15. I forget if Bane actually impacts on that or not, but 9 fire damage if it does.
Bane attack rolls, or it's just attack rolls and saving throws, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's our other favourite spell, Russ.
No, that doesn't hit.
The
The flame seed bounces off. Okay, but you are no longer feared of this.
Excellent.
Or, yeah, it was a fear, wasn't it? It's too many things going on. Right, Karsat, at the end of this round, you get to make an advantage saving throw against the charm.
So I view the big eldritch abomination behind me as a friend, but not necessarily something I can't attack at all if it's already attacked me, right? I just don't really want to hurt it.
So the nature of the charm is that you are it's charmed by you until the spell ends, or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. Right, so you're no longer charmed. I am reading it properly. The caffeine's kicking in. Yeah, so you are no longer charmed by it. Because, in fact, nobody is now charmed by it. Okay, so it's used up all its legendary actions to be awesome at charming, and it's now run out of them, and it's just normal charm now, and it's working the way that you say. It's run out of its extra power that it had. So yeah, there we go.
So Karsat will turn around and just look at the thing and go, "You're a terrible friend." Cast Mind Sliver on it.
Okay, for an int save, it rolls a 25.
Right, even with the D4 ain't going to do anything then, so that does nothing. So Karsat will look really, really disappointed, and then he'll use 2 sorcery points to cast Slow.
That's my other favourite spell. Thank you for bringing it to the table. Now,
Shoot all of them.
so this particular beast has freedom of movement, so the reduction on its speed doesn't take into account, but the other components of slow does.
Okay.
Okay. I need to make its wisdom saving throw then.
Yep, for all three, please. 2 of them have got D4 minuses. Thank you, Red.
You love us really, Croy. Come on.
Okay. Right, I'm making a save. It's a wisdom save. And I've rolled 25.
God damn it. Okay, so I'm assuming that's the big tentacly thing. How do the other two do?
That was the big tentacle thing. The other one rolls a low number. It's a 6. And the top one, the orange, wearing orange robes, is also a low number. That's a 5. So they're both slowed.
Okay.
Without any hesitation. So they're baned and slowed.
In that case, I will use my movement to just take an attack opportunity, but basically get out the immediate way of this.
Okay, the attack of opportunity hits you or not. Let's find out. It's a 9. It misses.
Yeah. No, sorry, not against the slowed one. They shouldn't have reaction. Just tentacle bugger.
Okay, yes, you're right, of course. And the tentacle monstrosity will try and bite you. That's a 24.
D4 actually doesn't matter. It'll hit unless I take shield, which I'll do anyway.
Right, so that also takes it above. It's back to 25, so yeah, that's fine. Right. And I'll just do that so I remember to do it. Here we go, 20. So yeah, 20 misses. Right. Kylon, you are no longer charmed by your tentacle friend. However, you are still in a state of fear of the shouting blue guys. Blue's a good colour, it suits folk, but it definitely looks better on you than it does on them.
Yeah. I'm really not liking this guy. So we're gonna go with nice Asher's Mind Whip against the guy I'm afraid of.
Okay. DC 17 intelligence. And it's a low number 3.
Okay, so that's 4 psychic damage and all the added slow things that really, really slow it down. So it's it can move, action, or bonus action, but only one of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Right. You have done that to it. Okay. Mind Whip. The effects are stacking. Anything else from you?
It'll kind of shift back round a bit. I'm trying to attract the attention of big and tentacly.
Yeah. Did you roll damage for that Tasha's Mind Whip? Because
it was 4 psychic damage.
Okay, thank you. Alright. Alrighty. The tentacle thing has eaten something. And at this point, as you walk towards
Do I
it... Oh.
get a save for being frightened?
You do.
the wisdom or
Wisdom, I think, on this one, isn't it? Because it's fear from the effect of the shout.
Sure. Wisdom save.
Oh, there you go. You're no longer. Yeah, nice. The beast grows in size as gurgling and noise comes from it. It expands in front of you. It just seems to massively inflate itself, and the body rise and expands. You see this mist, this pain, this sound. It just grows bigger, and as it does so, I am going to roll a d8. 1, 2, 3, and it's going to move over towards Ildri, passing under Jara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 25, 30. Okay. And at this point, it looks up at you, and the sand whips around it, Ildri, and it slams around you. It does what is basically, it creates a lightning strike out of sand and dust that smashes down towards you. Could you make a dexterity save, please?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so you are there, and it smashes down towards you, and the damage of this smashes into your body, knocking you aside, and you take some damage from that.
Is it lightning damage?
It's not. It's just based on that. But it's bludgeoning damage. So 21 points of bludgeoning damage as
Ow.
it slams down towards you.
Okay.
I mean, it's officially a sand kraken, but we'll worry about those semantics. There we go. Right, so this bolt of sand crashed down. This thing has grown in size massively as it consumes people. And then it's going to move no more. That's fine. Right, Adri.
Yeah, I think the tentacly thing is still the nastiest piece. So she is going to hurl 3 Eldritch Blasts straight at it.
Okay.
Seeing what happened after it ate somebody ain't good. So 1, 2. Did that go? Ow, bugger. No, there we go. 3.
And yeah, so all of them hit.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so first one, Genie's Wrath added to it for the extra 5 thunder, so that's 5 thunder, 15 force.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, 11 force. Third one, 10 force.
Okay.
So that 30, 41 point damage total.
All right. So that's Shay moving.
Nope, she's quite happy standing on the wall.
Okay, LG.
I'm not very happy about being hit with this, so I am going to use my bonus action to order Jarrah to attack on that. Don't actually need to, I'm also going to order Jarrah to move in a sec, but we'll get to that. I'm also don't actually need to use an action to tell the Draconic Spirit to attack, so that'll do its cone thing in a second. And then for me, I'm going to move. No, I'm going to stay there.
Okay.
And I would like to cast Flame Strike at 7th level.
Okay.
On the
It
Kraken
rolls.
thing.
It rolls a. Come on, roll 20. Oh, wait a minute. That's it there. It went above your spell. Right. So you want a dex? Oh.
And I think it has to make a d4 roll or whatever to.
It rolls a 21.
So it needs to make a d4 roll.
Minus
and if it gets
4. Yep. So that is a 4.
Nice.
Okay, so you succeed.
So
You're
it-
rolling really well on these D4s, Croy. I like it.
Hey.
Really appreciating the high rolls tonight.
So it takes, what is that, like 39 plus 1d6, I believe, because so plus 3, so that's like 42 points of damage. The Draconic Spirit is going to make a breath cone over it, which I believe is like... Sorry, I have like 6 million stat blocks open right now. It's almost... Anyway,
5-foot
It
cone,
needs-
2d6, dex save.
yeah,
Minus 4.
another one.
So that's 12, okay, minus 3, so yeah, 9 it got. So another 8 damage there, okay. Plus,
Jarrah's Flame Seed's gonna hit it,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Ildry is gonna move away from
okay,
over there.
alright. So it's not looking happy at this point in time, it's getting smashed around. Everybody's free now to hit it, right? So there, Karsat.
So Karsat will rush up to Tweedledee and Tweedledum up here. What does slow do again? Is it just basically a reduction in their AC?
Negative 2 to AC, disadvantage on Dex. Negative 2 to Dex saving throws. Half movement speed and no reaction.
Negative 2 to Dex sounds fun. But I think I'll just keep 2 punching at the moment. So I will punch the first one in front of me.
That hits.
Do lightning damage. So I'm not bother stunning or slowed. Next punch.
That hits.
Does that hit? Lovely, more lightning damage. Third one. Oh!
There you go.
Not as much lightning damage. And I'll use a key point to punch them one more time.
Yep, go for it.
An extra 10 lightning
There
damage.
you go. Oops, that's the wrong thing to type. There we go. Okay, yeah, looking beaten up and slow. Any more from you?
Nope, move action, bonus action.
Okay. Kylon.
He's just got to point his warhammer at the big tentacle fucker and run up to it. And start hitting it. So we're going to start with the Warhammer.
Mm-hmm.
I assume a 13 does not hit.
No.
Shame. Well, then
It's
you rocky grass.
No.
Terrible rules.
No. What that?
We'll try the Batlack.
That hits.
Wonderful.
1 minute, guys. BRB.
With my extra action, we'll hit a Warhammer again, which also hits. And there's 6 damage. Yeah. This big tentacle thing's great fun, isn't it?
Yeah. You should probably avoid letting it eat anything else.
Why would you want to do that? Needs to have a much better fight.
Always calm, always bright. Okay, how'd you get on? 6 points damage.
I hit it again with the Warhammer. Well, there's 6 points as well.
Excellent. Minus 12. Yeah. Okay.
And that's Kylan's turn.
Okay. And the now less small beast communicates to you all, but only like let's see, only. Does anybody speak Celestial, Infernal, Primordial?
Celestial and Primordial for me.
I believe I speak Celestial.
Okay.
Primordial for Adri.
Right, so you all understand as it broadcasts on various frequencies. Stop! Leave! I go! I leave my space through there. Out! I will take my place. And it begins to sliver forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Attack of opportunity for Draconic Spirit and for Kylan as well, if you wish.
Hell yeah, we're taking that.
Ildry with the Draconic Spirit misses.
Shocky grasp it.
Yep, it hits.
14 lightning damage.
14 lightning, is it? 25, 30, and then it's going to take it 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes, it makes it to the door. Right, and it begins to haul at the chains, pulling at the chains, smashing at the door. Adri.
So, keeping her attention on tentacle thing. Where is it you're trying to get to?
And you hear back in your mind across the languages, to take my place. This language is difficult to get through. I belong out in the storm. I'm big enough. I am enough. I can be free. I am ready. It just kind of keeps going around these various statements, trying to get across what it wants. But it doesn't sound. It's not so much that you can't understand it, because you can, because it's speaking a language you understand. You just get the sense that it's not very good at communicating. Like, it's not got the experience of somebody that's talking like a youngster. It's talking like it's just got that sort of inability to explain. It just seems to be a burning ball of rage and anger, and it's just trying to smash into this door, and it's repeating itself.
Do you want to make the storm bigger or smaller?
I am the storm. As it smashes into the door.
So if you go out there, the storm gets bigger?
That's probably about 6 seconds of telepathy's fast. Come on, let's have some fun. Telepathy's quick. You get a lot of telepathy in 6 seconds. Bigger. I am the storm. I take my place and keep it.
As soon as he says bigger, 3 Eldritch Blast straight at him.
That's fair. That's a hit, that's a hit, that's a hit.
Sweet. First one, as always, as Genie's Wrath. So, 5 thunder,
Yep.
15 force. That's a lot of fifths in there. Another 10 force, and another 13 force. So that's 20, 30, 43.
Yep. Okay.
And I assume that as we've all got about 12 links of telepathy going on at the moment, that everyone else would also have heard him saying, I'm going to go out there and make the storm bigger. Right. No, you're not, dear.
Ildry.
Ildry is going to urge the Draconic Spirit to attack on its turn. She's going to tell Jara to move forward and attack on their turn, which is my bonus action. And I am going to cast Scorch at it.
Go for it.
Which means it needs to make a dex saving throw, I believe.
Yes. Okay, it's rolling a small number. It's a 1, which actually is a 6, so there you go.
Cool. And I believe it takes some extra fire damage as well. I will add that to the thing, but I'll worry about getting like breath weapons and stuff off from these other guys.
Alright, what's the damage?
I believe it's 17.
Okay. That'll do. Any more?
Alright, yes. Jara is going to move forward and do the flame. Actually, I don't even think Jara needs to move. It's like 60 foot. Yep. So, Flame Seed from Jara.
Yep, it's a hit.
And the Draconic Spirit does have to move forward, and it's going to do its breath cone thing again.
Okay.
So it needs to make another dex save.
It rolls 21.
Okay, it passes. It does,
Does
however,
it?
Damage.
Does take half, yep.
3 points of lightning.
There we go.
Did it need to bane that?
Oh,
Oh, probably. It needs to roll like a 4 though, so...
well, I've done that quite a lot,
Yeah.
but not this time. I forget it's still beamed. Yes. Okay, I don't think
Oh,
thing's
and-
getting away.
1d8 extra damage, which is a 3.
Oh, you can see it crawling up at the door. It's clambering at the chains. It's trying to smash its way through the door, but the strength just doesn't quite seem to be in it to break out, at least this time. It certainly made a dent on the door. The chains are starting to rattle. Karsat.
So Karsa, having heard basically what it was saying, it seems like it's going to make the storm a hell of a lot worse. It's going to sprint round the ring to get up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to take a swing at it.
That's a hit.
So lightning damage and a stunning strike.
And that rolls a bigger number with 2 digits. It's only 11.
That's a fail. It's now stunned.
Yeah, you can't actually tell if it's stunned or dead because it looks so badly scarred, beaten up, bruised, slashed, scorched. But yeah, you get the general sense that it's definitely not moving. Kylon?
Well, I suppose we... Is there enough space to get in front of it? Like between it and the door?
No, it's right up against it. It's completely consuming the door.
It's problematic.
But it's
Oh,
also
well.
stunned.
Yeah. That means attacks are at advantage. I wonder. Okay, so Warhammer,
It's a hit.
Warhammer,
It's a hit.
Battle Axe,
It's got -2.
Rocky,
No, it has not this one. No. Right.
Rocky Grasp.
That's a hit. So two Warhammers and Shocking Grasp. Right. You're watching this thing as it's up against the door, try to rip the chains off. And you just sprint up to it and slam into it with one hand, and then smash into the other one with the back of your fist as you sort of punch it, holding your battle axe. As it's up against the door, it slumps down. It's still stunned. Its body is rigid, but it is down, and the two characters to the left are assuming in tears. They're not dead, but they're not moving. They've crumpled down to the ground as at the same time as this thing gave up. So you're now out of combat. And in free movement, and the large door in front, weakened by the attempts of this huge beast in front of you trying to smash into it, begins to creak. Kylon, you feel a draft coming through the door. There's give in it. There's some movement outside. There's some turmoil outside, but it seems to be holding just now. The chain's keeping it in place.
it like something's trying to get in the door?
That doesn't seem to be an unreasonable assumption.
We might have more company, guys.
That's less than ideal.
On the bright side, we have a fantastic door stall.
True.
I mean, it is only a baby one.
It's still bloody huge.
Should we go ask some pointed questions at the end of pointy objects to deliver?
You go ask them. I'll wait for whatever new friend outside the door is.
While Garsat walks away, he'll use the ability of his dragon hide belt just to regain some key points. Get 4 back. Just in case bad things happen soon.
Can Kyle like climb up on top of the tentacle thing, just so he's like right in the middle of the door?
The two priests are having a shouting match at each other, and one of them drops to the ground. And as you approach him, Karsat, he takes a small dagger and begins to draw it across his own throat.
Is there no way I can move fast enough to stop that happening?
You are able to, if you wish to, make you're getting across there, so I guess a strength check as you try and catch his hand to stop him from doing it. And
Not ideal.
it'll be opposed. So DC 12. And he begins to bleed out, but he's still alive.
I'll start just to put pressure on the wound and just go, does anyone have a bandage? They really don't want to talk.
Can I send Jarrah over and use Jarrah to cast Cure Wounds on him?
Yeah, okay. So that stabilizes him and stops him bleeding out.
I
And
just toss the dagger to the side. We don't have a repeat do this again.
yeah. So in Broken Common, he says that we've failed. We've failed.
Yes. What did you feel?
We will be taken by the storm. Better to end it now.
What were you trying to do with the storm?
We will return to it. And he stands up, and with a key taken out, he runs past you, if you let him.
No. Can I, strike him without trying to do damage?
Yeah, non-lethal blow? Sure.
Yep.
What are you going to use for a non-lethal blow?
My fist.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
Stunning strike.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if this one has Bane or not.
He's got all sorts of things, so let's just say he does. the 14.
Fails.
Okay, so he's stunned.
I'll just get a bit of rope out, tie his legs, tie his wrist, then sit on his back, even though I'm not very big, so it won't really do anything,
Yeah.
and just go, look, talk to us. When we're done, you can do whatever you like. I'll even give you the dagger back if you want.
Yeah, he's stunned, so he's not saying anything much. Yeah. The door at the foot of it begins to creak and groan even louder.
Shall we get out of this room?
I mean, someone needs to carry Tweedle here.
Ildra is going to send the Draconic Spirit over to deal with that.
Oh, helpful. Let's get the rope and loop it around one of the spirit's legs.
The Spirit's got like 60 feet of flying, so...
So it's going to be a really awkward pinata that moves fast. Got it.
Yeah. And Ildri is going to be moving away from the door, because the door seems like a bad place to be near.
Karsa will call out to Kylon, we're going this way!
Wonderful.
As you walk away, Kyle, on the door breathes its last, slams in and forward. The door gives way, a huge door that was clearly big enough to let a giant beast climb through. And as you look round to see what is coming in, you see a vast wall and a small path leading into it. This is the Maelstrom. You have a path leading into it. This is the route that they were going to send their beast on, to create the storm, to make it bigger.
Oh shit. Guys, there's a path out this way.
Do you want to go that way right now?
Looks so inviting.
Might not get another chance.
I mean, we do need to go in, probably. We've got a clear route.
The storm moves and eddies around with just enough space for you to see through. Just enough, a tunnel of sorts. The storm smashes against the door, but it doesn't enter into the building. Instead, it seems to fold itself around the beast on the floor, and it slowly begins to pull it in towards itself, as if it knows, as if it's going to get sustenance from it, as if the storm itself can eat and feed upon this. It looks hungry, it draws it in slowly. The path remains.
Ildri, burn the tentacle thing.
Do I have time to burn the tentacle thing?
Yeah, it's moving slowly.
Cool, I would like to cast Scorching Ray at it.
Yes.
I believe I actually get 3 shots at this, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's that advantage as well because it's, like, dead. So you hit, basically, yeah, you can get that. So it hits and it burns up the body. You just see small bits of it just getting drawn in. The storm is still swirling around, but doesn't make any further input and get further into the room that you're in. You just stand there facing into the vortex with a small gap between, capable of taking you forward. And with that, you reach level 15.
Woohoo! Sweet!
Celebration.
Before going
Technically-
into. So do
I
you want
probably
to
should have gone
roll for
extra.
hit points and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Sure. What could go wrong?
Okay, who's going first?
Alphabetical order, maybe?
Hey, Aldo.
Wizard. Roll for hit points. Nice. Level 1 wizard, so max hit points.
Nice. Nice one.
Who's up next?
Mud. Oh,
Hey,
another big roll.
I could have gone a lot worse.
All right, and what are you doing with Karsat this level?
So Karsat's taken another level in Sorcerer, because he's been using magic quite heavily lately.
Nice. Red?
Okay. Yeah, still takes me into triple digits now, so
Hey.
I'll take that. Yeah, so it's going to be another level in Warlock. So, up to level 10 from Warlock. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of moving around of some spells.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Have you got anything in particular?
Well, I get a new cantrip, so I'm taking Toll the Dead.
Mm.
And I'm going to ditch Scrying. And... no, I was going to take Synaptic Static, but I've been umming and ahhing between that and Banishment.
Ooh, well. Maybe today's events might help tip the favour one way.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know which one I'm going to go for, but it'll be one of those two.
Nice. And Russ.
I'm going for another level in Druid.
Hey,
Not bad.
not bad all
Average.
around. Yeah. Could be worse.
Woohoo, level 8 spells.
All right. So you stand at the head of the Maelstrom with the knowledge that there are bigger versions of what you just fought out there, feeding the storm, making it bigger, enlarging it. And other places like this one surely exist where these machines, these monsters, these Stormbringers are being reared. It's an interesting look into the logistics and the fighting force that keeps you at bay. This storm, a terrible curse, stopping magic and stopping all manner of abilities to accurately report on what is behind it. And in front of you there's a path